What is going on, YouTube and beyond? We got a very special episode for you guys today. It is Saturday. Technically, I'm recording on Friday. We got a nice Valentine's Day special for you. You know, obviously with everything that's going on with COVID, with this world right now, I think it's really exciting to see some of the interesting things that are happening in business, both on a lot of different spectrums. So we got a lot of exciting news for you. I appreciate you sticking around, and I hope you're having a great week/weekend so far. So I actually watched a really interesting video about Heinz Ketchup. I feel like everyone knows what Heinz Ketchup is, but Heinz is really the Ford of the ketchup industry. Like they are, obviously there's like, what is the other one? Hunt's. Yes, that's what it is. Hunt's is the other sort of big one. But what's really cool about this video is they asked people to draw ketchup. They just said, draw ketchup. And they drew Heinz. And I think this is really interesting because, like, they didn't say draw Heinz. I don't think they even mentioned we're from Heinz. All they asked these people to do was to draw ketchup. And they drew a Heinz bottle, and they even wrote Heinz tomato ketchup. And it's like crazy, right? Like, if I ask you, do you like ketchup? You might say yeah, and you might imagine a Heinz bottle. For me, I'm definitely a Heinz person. All of these little ketchup packets that you get at like a fast food place or a restaurant is most likely Heinz. Think about it. Heinz owns the ketchup space. How the heck do they even like own that domain? How do they own the rights to, or not own the rights per se, but like they are the ketchup brand, and to have that sort of influence, to have that sort of power is pretty incredible. So if you really think about it, Heinz has been doing this for a long time and been perfecting his recipe and value prop to the world. And I think this is really interesting because, like, this is his niche. This is what he was good at, what he focused in, and what this company has been building and building and building over time. I think really it just comes down to like getting to it first and doing it best. An interesting news in regards to another Heinz offering. So Mr. Peanut, I'm sure you've seen those commercials about a peanut, the little yellow one with the cane, the little glass like this. That actually used to be owned by Kraft Heinz. But up until February 11th this week, Heinz actually sold the Planters brand to Hormel, which is another food brand, for $3.35 billion. This article says it's not just peanuts. You might know Hormel through brands such as Skippy. I know they do a lot of those little bouillon cubes, those like chicken stock cubes and stuff like that. So according to this article, the nuts business are driving them nuts. Roughly contributed to about $1.1 billion in net sales to Kraft this past year and has been neglected. And it seems like there's going to be, or there has been, some lost market share due to competitors and other private label brands. But I think another like good example, right? Like Mr. Peanuts, or excuse me, Planters, Mr. Peanut, like that's such a strong brand. Like everyone knows that little peanut for what it is. Now, granted, is their product matching up with other competitors in the space? How does Planters compare with other nuts in the space? Are they relying solely on that brand nostalgia to make sales, or have they evolved and created a new product? Kind of a touchy subject, but I'd love to hear both perspectives here. Aunt Jemima has actually rebranded itself. Aunt Jemima, for those who may not know, is a brand under the Quaker Oats company. And I think for obvious reasons, for tension, for everything that's going on in today's world, the company's actually decided to rebrand her whole line of goods to the Pearl Mining Company. So if you go to your local superstore or market and you try to find Aunt Jemima, it will look the exact same, except you won't see the name or the figure on the bottle anymore, which I completely understand the argument behind why, right? Like, this is 2021. We need to be more woke and be more cautious, set a good image for the future around us. But what was interesting about this article was relatives are actually upset. They're upset because specifically this person, Hunter, mentions that both his great-grandmother and grandmother portrayed the fictional character of the company, and to have that now removed, again, like, this brand has been around for such a long time, and now it's gone and it has a new face completely, right? It's the same product, but it looks completely different. If you're like looking on the supermarket, like on the shelves, and you're trying to find the brand that you've constantly bought, but now it looks completely different, does that spark problems? Is that weird? Is that bad? He's concerned because he said the move not only cheats his family out of earnings that both of those women are due, but erases them from history. And he's actually pursuing litigation. On the other hand, Quaker Oats controls more than 30% of the global breakfast market, with annual revenues around $1 billion. And they see this as an opportunity to acknowledge an evolution and tell the full story. So I think they've sort of countered that argument with, well, we don't want to erase this from history. We just want to tell a different story. We want to take a different approach. So I'd love to hear down below what you think. I think this is an interesting one. My parents always bought Aunt Jemima stuff, pancake mix, syrup, and now it's gone. And I completely understand the argument for wanting to take a different direction, but I kind of see the other side of it, like, it's been around for so long, right? Like, did people really look up to that and see value in that and we're proud in that? So I'd love to hear what you think down below. I think both perspectives make sense, but I think this is a smart move on Quaker Oats to transition and be cognizant of the world that we're actually living in 2021. Lowe's, the home improvement DIY store, is actually, and a lot of other brands are doing and trying to promote some more Valentine's Day activities, right? Doing some fun things for branding and marketing PR purposes. But like, how do you incorporate Valentine's Day? I think it's interesting when we see companies that try to switch it up, right? Like, they try to make it fun and tailored and customized based off of the events that are going around us, right? And obviously this Sunday is Valentine's Day, and Lowe's is actually offering 50 couples, yes, 50 couples, a one-of-a-kind Valentine's Day experience. Come into the store and participate in an intimate splash painting date night, right? Just getting a group of couples to come in and have fun with paint for the sake of Valentine's Day, for the sake of painting. And I'm thinking, like, okay, so there's got to be a reason behind this, right? Like, there's a reason that there's paint involved, that there's couples involved. And my initial thought process is like, okay, couples, right? Couples probably plan to move in together at some point, before they're married, after they're married, and like, home improvement stores are like the perfect place for you to be around things to enhance or enlighten your home, right? And so I believe that this is the direction that they took, because couples move into homes and decorate homes and paint homes. So this is kind of an interesting way to engage with the customers, but also at the same time have it fun, have a fun tailored event to the holidays. But who knows, maybe they might buy something on the way out. But again, 50 couples, it's not a lot, but we'll see what happens. Another Valentine's Day event by Dunkin Donuts, you can actually go and get hitched. Yes, you heard me right. If you want to come to Dunkin Donuts and get married this weekend, be my guest. Dunkin has mentioned that they want to provide magic. They want to help couples whose weddings may have been pushed back or reimagined due to the current environment. You can actually buy a satin robe that says "The Bride Dunkin," "I Do Crew" tumblers, a ring bearer pillow, a sweatshirt, a veil. And so Dunkin wants to get involved. They want to put that donut around your ring finger. Really interesting approach as to just, again, trying to find ways to engage with your customer, trying to find ways to get your name and your brand out there. The real question is, would you wear a Dunkin veil on your big day? Are you going to Dunkin Donuts to celebrate your wedding? Are people going to Vegas to go to Dunkin Donuts? Last but not least, something that is probably my favorite for this Valentine's themed week video here is that Lady Gaga launched her own Oreo brand. So Oreo Lady Gaga inspired sandwich cookies, limited edition. Yes, Lady Gaga, you can get limited edition Lady Gaga cookies for $7. Has a really cool packaging. The cookies are actually pink. Has a lot of cool and interesting designs on them as well, as you can see here. Share kindness, right? And what's cool is they're actually vegan as well. I think all Oreos are vegan. This is an interesting collaboration between the two artists, between Oreo and Lady Gaga. The main thing that we can learn from this week's videos, like all of these themes, right, is like branding matters. Having a brand presence is huge, right? Heinz has been doing what they've been doing for a long time, and it's starting to pay off now. I think branding is the long game. Heinz is a true testament that, like, if you can do things right and focus on one thing that you do really good at, you could be that category, right? Think about it. They asked people to draw ketchup and they drew Heinz. They didn't just draw a red bottle, they wrote Heinz and they made everything. To have that influence in the market, that doesn't come overnight. That comes with trial, error, and focusing on what you do best. Also, crazy, I had no idea that they even own Mr. Peanut, but granted, companies are starting to sell and things are going to move around. So with Hormel owning Mr. Peanuts now, will we see any changes or any strategy from their brand perspective moving forward? Aunt Jemima, obviously a touchy issue, but I think it's important for us to have this open dialogue and conversation because I see both ends of the coin. I'm not condoning racism. I'm not condoning any of that stuff. Please don't hold me to that. What I'm trying to do is open up a conversation, open up perspective, right? Like, there's a reason why they decided to take it off and rename the brand, but there's a reason that people are still fighting, right? Think of the family members that are tied to that, or like the person in the article, right? Like, they were hurt by that being just removed and taken down and deleted, right? Again, like those syrups, those line of products now look completely different, right? So I think it's really just about understanding perspective and understanding at the end of the day, what's the right thing to do? If you were a business owner, what would you do, right? It's 2021, things have changed and they need to adapt. What are businesses going to do? Make it fun, right? It's Valentine's Day. We're in the middle of a pandemic. How do you make it fun for your customers? How do you make it contextual? How do you integrate the holidays, the fun things that are going on in the world, and make them awesome? I really love the Lady Gaga Oreos. I think that's an interesting idea. I'm gonna try to cop them and try to do a review on them, taste test them, show you guys what they are, right? But like at the end of the day, like I wouldn't have bought Oreos otherwise, but because Lady Gaga now has Oreos, I might go buy them now. That's powerful, right? That brand collaboration, integrating fun events with your brand, making events for your brand, right? Lowe's, granted, they're only offering 50 people to go and paint. Would that be a cool experience? Absolutely, right? But how can you maximize, how do you scale this so that everyone can participate to some level, to some degree? Let me know what you guys think of this video. I really appreciate all your time, your support, your love. Drop your comments, drop any of your feedback. Any way that I can improve this content, please let me know. And I hope you have a great day, great weekend. We'll catch you guys on Wednesday.